the pure one, and brought them. And also Tulsi Devi appeared like that. It wasn't, he was just simply preaching. And everything else was a byproduct of that. And that's been your example here. Because of this purity of preaching, because of your stick-to-itiveness, because of your contagious enthusiasm, all good things are coming for all of us. And I am just so grateful to be a recipient of the trickle-down the trickle-down economics. That this is where there's real trickle-down economics. Trickle-down mercy. And I'm glad to be in that, getting the shower from that. And just thank you so much. And it makes me wonder, who are you? Hi.
Chaitanya Charitamrita Prabhu. This is Srila Gurudev's friend, Chaitanya Charitamrita Prabhu, followed by Mother Nirukul will read Divyanga Prabhu's offering, and then she'll read her own.
Srimate Vaisesika Prabhu iti namane namo shmrak. Hey, Vaisesika Prabhu, it's always good to get your association. I want to thank you now, too, for all the lovely postcards you sent us. It's something to really look forward to. We get the mail and we get these nice postcards from Vaisha's travels and his preaching efforts. We kind of keep this up to date. We're in Modesto, which is about an hour and a half from here, so we're not quite as close as we could be. But I want to thank you for that. We always look forward to those cards. It's very nice. I just wrote up a little offering while I was here. It's meager, but I hope it expresses my feelings. I haven't really had time to do that, so I'm glad I can do this. Vaisha has always been serving A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada for many years. His focus has always been on Srila Prabhupada's wish for book distribution. When books are the basis, Vaisha is like Hanuman in strength. Back in the 90s, when ISKCON revived its preaching efforts here in San Jose, I had the good fortune to meet Vaisha again. Or I should say that for the first time. Get my glasses here. Old age is creeping. Back in the 90s, when ISKCON renewed its preaching efforts in San Jose, I had the good fortune to meet Vaisesika Prabhu. From day one, I realized that he was a very advanced devotee. The generosity of his personal wisdom and practical application is as powerful as a river. When engaged in utility as a principle, Vaisha is like the Ganges, washing all foolishness away. As I am able to mature devotionally with the association of devotees, inspiration, that word again, has grown. Vaisha association provides an additional boost. His enthusiasm is sincere, and his knowledge is most clear. When purity is a force, Vaisha's clarity is like Vivashwan, is so brilliant. The most impressive attribute that will always be in my heart is Vaisha's kirtans. We need to recharge our bhakti. The sound of your drum dissipates our anarthas and brings joy to our souls. But the most fortunate thing is that my selfishness disappears, and I see the bliss that you bring in everyone around you. When preaching is the essence, Vaisha is like Northern Shringadev, roaring through illusion. Thank you for your association and your valuable time. Your servant, Chaitanya Charitamrita Das.
Is Mother Bhumi ready to speak? Would you like to speak now? Okay, and then after that we can have Ganga. Kanka. Mother Kanka can speak after that.
I couldn't miss this. Dear Vaisesika Prabhu, please accept my most humble obeisances. Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada. I left off last year's offering to you, saying that our Srila Prabhupada must be so proud of you, and that you were that moon that he was hoping for to find amongst his disciples. Srila Prabhupada's statement concerning this moon that he hoped and prayed for went along these lines. In the night sky there are many thousands of stars which all give off light and sparkle beautifully, but just this one solitary small celestial body, the moon, somehow illuminates the entire galaxy. This seems to describe you perfectly, Vaisesika Prabhu. The moon, this singular illuminating object which lights up the night, this moon which Srila Prabhupada wished for all his disciples to emulate. You are not simply a fly-by-night, flash-in-the-pan shooting star which makes its way across the expanse of sky and poof, is gone in an instant. Or a devotee that despite hearing that we must drop everything for the all-important matter of getting out of this prison house of the material world and going back home, back to Godhead, yet we still hold on to some subtle form of sense gratification, such as the desire for profit, adoration, or distinction. No, like the gopis who heard Krishna's flute beckoning, they couldn't get there fast enough. In the scramble to get to Krishna immediately, if not sooner, they threw on their clothes haphazardly, putting the bottom portion of their dress on the top and the top pieces on the bottom. In this way, after a long search for truth in your youth, once you heard the heralding call of Srila Prabhupada to drop everything and join the army of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without hesitation, you joined and never looked back. You didn't get lazy and just go through the motions to make it appear like you were embracing Krishna consciousness while secretly holding on to the cheating propensity in the mind which occurs even to practicing transcendentalists when we hold on to subtle sex life in the guise of desire for power. In this way, while many have fallen by the wayside, strutting and fretting their hour upon the stage and then heard from no more, you remain a dynamic, unstoppable force of nature, a guiding light ever expanding its rays and delivering the fallen conditioned souls of this dark universe. I often marvel at how a simple, enthusiastic devotee who did not immediately become a big gun in ISKCON has come to be what I see as the savior of our ISKCON movement. This isn't to imply that there aren't a number of other noteworthy disciples, obviously demigods whom Srila Prabhupada said were lining up to take birth in our movement. But you did this without any of the externals. You know, that flash that surrounds charismatic people who almost always rise immediately and become big leaders, but who unfortunately haven't invested the necessary energy to their foundations in Krishna consciousness. As we look back, we see these great qualities of leadership in you almost from the beginning, since the time you joined the Krishna consciousness movement as a young, strapping teenager and immediately, humbly and happily making waves, not by a big position, but by eagerly going out to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books enthusiastically and unstoppably by the thousands. I have rarely met a devotee who has had the great fortune of going out on book distribution with you over the years who doesn't have their favorite Vaishe stories. Stories not so much about the fruitive results of what you did, though they are Herculean, but more about the determination in which you performed your service. The execution of devotional service shows that great Vaishnava qualities do not spring forth from a big leadership position, but from an internal fire that is cultivated by taking the spiritual master's instructions to heart in the deepest way and performing one's prescribed duties, using as fuel the sadhana bhakti practice given to us by Srila Prabhupada. There are no shortcuts in doing this daily internal work. Everything you have attained in this lifetime has come from unflinching, one-pointed, indefatigable determination to do it right. So much so that this one offering from me is starting to exceed the space and time limit, just describing one of your innumerable qualities. May I be blessed with more years to elaborate further on your numerous transcendental glories, if I am allowed this privilege, for in doing so, it helps me become determined to follow in your footsteps. This includes chanting 16 offenseless rounds every day without fail, reading Srila Prabhupada's books with rapt attention, sharing this process of bhakti with other spirit souls in this world and making their lives fortunate, never ever criticizing devotees, practicing gratitude as a way of life, trying to be a good devotee, not a great devotee, not wasting time, always finding ways to encourage Krishna's devotees, applying austerity of speech every time we open our mouths, knowing that any time someone blows us off claiming no time when we offer them one of Srila Prabhupada's books, it simply brings us closer to that fortunate soul who will take the book home, read it, and it will change their life, like Bhakta Sean. Quickly forgiving those who do and say careless things to us so that we don't waste a moment of our precious time, which could have been spent serving the Supreme Lord, on self-indulgent narcissism, and on and on. Anytime I have the good fortune to tune into one of your classes on Mayapur TV, or even better, to hear you speak in person, I learn of newer and sweeter qualities of yours that I want to internalize and emulate. Please bestow your causeless mercy to your unworthy god sister and consider me a small part of the corner of your entourage. Please see me as fit to fully engage in the service of our community, ISKCON of Silicon Valley. I feel extremely honored, yet undeserving, to be part of this family of extraordinary devotees, all trained by you, thriving in their Krishna consciousness, and happy, bright-faced bhaktas as a result. I bow down to you unlimited times and pray that a little drop of mercy may come to this foolish ingrate, begging to become your eternal servant, Bhumi Devi Das.
Okay, thank you very much. So next will be Kanka Prabhu, followed by Ramananda Roy, and we're not sure who's going to speak after that. Probably, like if she speaks for if she speaks for 10 minutes, we'll have
Wow, Bhumi, now I have to speak after you. That was beautiful. Oh my gosh. Vaisesika, I just want to tell you that I often think of you coming to the San Francisco temple as a young teenager and your mom and dad allowing you to stay at the temple, because in those days, temples were pretty weird. But they were just such amazing, beautiful people to bring him, and his father actually stayed with him, right, for the first weekend to make sure everything was going to be okay. And to me, that's like showing Vaish was definitely probably born to just help Prabhupada. And I feel so honored to be here and like Bhumi said, to be associating with all these beautiful disciples and the congregational members of ISKCON Silicon Valley. And I did get a wonderful opportunity one time to be with Vaish when he was distributing books. And his compassion is so amazing, and how kind and loving he is to the people that he speaks to on the streets. And there's the story about Radharani, how these books are actually Radharani's drops of compassion. And Vaish is like the perfect person who lives in his heart, who does this. And I'm so honored to be part of this. And I just love the fact that these books are going out like crazy. I wish I could be more of a part of it. I did get the opportunity to be a book distributor, like Jagarini said. We all had that. we all had our years of book distribution, but of course, Vaish was the one who stuck with it, and I just feel fortunate to be here. Thank you so much for everything. Happy birthday.
Okay, so Ramananda Roy, and then Divyanga Prabhu's reading, and then Mother Miracle will speak.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I feel like our family always just sort of slips into the cracks. Somehow, by Vaiseshika's mercy, over a decade, we just keep hanging on to your shirt. And he keeps slipping us into the most amazing experiences. So we're so grateful for you in our life and in influencing us and in our home. And thank you for helping me carry out the service of being a parent. And so Ramananda is going to read his and Jayashree's offering now.
Dearest Vaiseshika, please accept our humble obeisances and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We hope you have a great birthday. You are the best mridanga player in the world and best leader of... What?
Wait, you could read that first part again.
You
are the best mridanga player in the world.
And the best leader of kirtan. Thank you for leading us so many great kirtans. We wish we could come to the temple more. Thank you for teaching us to love our deities. We want to have you come over and have a big celebration at our house, and we can have an Abhisheka together. Our surprising... What's that?
Aspiring servants.
Our aspiring servants, Ramananda Rai and Jayashree.
So next is an offering from Divyanga Prabhu, read by Mother Miracle.
I think some of you have met Divyanga Prabhu. He came out a few years ago. If you did, he's unforgettable. You'll know who I'm speaking of. And I wanted to read his offering because he and Vaish are dear old friends. They've been in the trenches together for many years, and Divyanga Prabhu is still residing in Alachua and going out on book distribution almost daily. We had our Vedic wedding, and if there had been a best man, Divyanga was it. He signed the marriage certificate. So he's very, very dear to both of us. So I wanted you to get his mood. Dear Vaish, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Years ago in a darshan in San Francisco, the temple president Bhaktidas introduced you to Prabhupada as one of our biggest book distributors. Srila Prabhupada looked at you and asked, "Do you read the books?" From that moment on, you became the Shravanam Kirtanam man. I mean, we read and read and read some more. We read in the van, to and from the airport, singing the prayers to the 6 Goswamis, scrutinizingly studying the revealed scriptures for the benefit of all human beings. And if I'd fall asleep, you'd say, "Stand up, walk around, breathe deep, read." You took that to heart, and anyone who's ever attended one of your Shastrakram classes will appreciate your painstaking approach to teaching, word meanings, etc. I know there's been so many times when I've been trying to remember a shloka, and I get one word, and then there it is, and I think, "Thanks, Vaish, you made me study." Of course, when you're not studying, you are dancing, chanting, and distributing the nectar to all of the sammohita jivas. You've created, organized, and personally pushed on an army of blissful, transcendental field workers, for all for the pleasure of His divine grace. What can I say, Vaish? You're a Sankirtan Avadut. I have been so blessed to have your association. Please forgive my offenses and allow me to stay on the TSKP. And Traveling Sankirtan Party. That was when we hit at BBT. There was always like Radha Damodar TSKP, BBT TSKP. They were the Prabhus on the road. So then he signed it, but then there's a lot after, and it says, these are quotes. "There's no question of stopping. Therefore, go on with your lifetime plans, making secure the distribution of books. There is no cessation. This movement is eternal." Another quote. "I have heard in San Francisco they are selling daily not less than 75 Krishna books. I want to live wherever they are selling the most books. However, I don't think you can sell as many as our San Francisco temple. See, Srila Prabhupada knew, and with you there to lead, just see the results. I'm so honored and lucky to know you and yours. Hari Bol. Remember, if you stop chanting, you start thinking." Shri Nam Sankirtan Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Okay, here? Okay. Do you want to say what that quote was, or that last quote?
The last quote, "If you stop chanting, you start thinking." That was from the infamous Ted Patrick, who was a deprogrammer in the 1980s. He took it upon himself to, he started a movement to get devotees to stop chanting because he thought that we were brainwashed. And when Prabhupada heard about this claim of brainwashing, he said, "Yes, your brain needs to be washed. It's full of cow dung," he said. So in an interview on television, there was Hridayananda Maharaj and Balavanta, and there was Ted Patrick and another woman who was backing up this idea about deprogramming. And he looked at one point, Ted Patrick, over at Balavanta and said, "See, he can't stop chanting," because he had his hand in his bead bag. And he said, "If you stop chanting, you start thinking." So we took that as a sutra, that's actually a good idea.
Okay. My dear husband, please accept my heartfelt obeisances. All glories to our beloved Srila Prabhupada. Wow, another year has gone by, and by Krishna's mercy, it's been an exceptional one. Along with traveling the world to encourage others to distribute and read Srila Prabhupada's books, put on seminars related to devotional service, and attend GBC and Temple Presidents meetings, in February you led a yatra to the sacred land of Sri Dham Mayapur. The yatra was a wonderful experience for all who attended. Being with so many sincere devotees, some of whom brought along their family members, saturating ourselves in hearing and chanting was a wonderful gift, which left us all feeling purified and refreshed, ready to come back to the West, reinvigorated in our respective services. This year, our ISV community's long-cherished desire to move into a beautiful new home for Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sriman Mahaprabhu, Sri Sri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, and Srila Prabhupada in the heart of Silicon Valley was realized. Our congregation of devotees stretched their capabilities to the max in order to finance the purchase of the properties and to redesign the facility to meet our needs. We now have a sparkling gem of a temple with room to dance. As a result of having our charming temple, a variety of new programs to attract students, yogis, and locals have been generated. Your vision for serving Srila Prabhupada and his mission here in Silicon Valley has a strong foundation in Sankirtan, and this beautiful facility is the manifestation of what Srila Prabhupada instilled in us. If we just stick to the basics, that is, preach and distribute his books, all facility to serve him nicely will come. It's amazing to watch your capacity for service increase. You fit such a variety of service into a day, always attending to the basics of chanting and reading first. When we were kids, there was a variety show on TV on Sunday nights, the Ed Sullivan Show, and one of the acts was a man who could spin 5 or 6 bowls at a time on top of tall poles, while also spinning an equal amount of plates on the long table that held the poles. That's what I see you doing. Only, of course, it's not plates, but your different responsibilities, always keeping your eye on the many sevas you've been given. You are that rare combination of a visionary and a pragmatist. You set goals, which to some may seem unattainable, and then go about figuring how to achieve said goals. You are your father's, Srila Prabhupada's son. Just as he always saw the bigger picture and dreamt big, you, undaunted by the naysayers, also see the grand possibilities. Unafraid to empower others, you encourage everyone to serve to their full potential. Always fanning the spark, you know how to bring out the best in others, and you delight in their success, whether they are your junior, your peer, whether they are your peer or your junior. This year, we've also had the good fortune of serving many exalted devotees in our home. The conversations that take place in the living room or around the kitchen table are sometimes deep and illuminating, sometimes relaxed and humorous, but always relishable. The kirtans you have with our visitors after you do your morning puja are sublime, made all the more sweet by the affection you share with one another. Nowadays, writing your book is a high priority. You schedule time into your day, and every spare minute is spent working on it, as you're hearing more and more from devotees around the movement about the need for and importance of such a work. Most recently, while your dear friend and editor, His Holiness Keshava Bharati Maharaj, stayed with us, you completed a few chapters and we read them together. Filled with your realizations, stories from devotees, and quotes from Srila Prabhupada, our predecessor acharyas, and the scriptures, these sections are so juicy. We've been reading Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav by Bhakti Vikas Swami together, and I've been struck by how much Srila Prabhupada so obviously imbibed the mood of his Guru Maharaj. His preaching and managing style, his strict yet liberal way of presenting Krishna consciousness, and the way in which he took to heart Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's mission. I also see this example in you. Just as Srila Prabhupada didn't have much of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta's vapu, you also didn't have much of Srila Prabhupada's physical association. Instead, from the age of 21, your relationship has developed through his direct instruction to you, your seva, and his books. Your advancement in Krishna consciousness is a testament to Srila Prabhupada's glories and the simple process he gave us. These days, it seems you are constantly presented with fresh challenges. Not only do you willingly take these on, but you also do it with energy and enthusiasm. You've surrendered your body, mind, and heart to Srila Prabhupada for him to do with as he likes. I detect absolutely no resistance, just a submission that brings you a sublime confidence. The other day, you were telling me of a few watershed moments in your life. One was when Srila Prabhupada told you, you must also read my books. And another was when you were having a conversation with your mother. You had called her from LAX in the early 80s. It was a time of transition for you personally and in the movement. Sharing some of your thoughts with her, she was always very supportive of your spiritual life. She gave you some advice. She told you to get your bead bag and put your hand in it and start chanting. You took that as another direct instruction from Srila Prabhupada. Years later, as she lay on her deathbed, you asked her about that conversation. Why had you given me that instruction? Her answer was, I'd seen you cross over from this material world, and I didn't want you to come back. Even your mother, your first disciple, Jamuna Devi Dasi, knew that you were no longer of this world. I pray that I may have many more years in a strong and healthy body. I pray that you may have, and that I may have to serve you. I pray that you have many more years in a strong and healthy body so that you can continue in your service to our beloved Srila Prabhupada. With love from your most grateful and fortunate wife. Hare Krishna.
We're going to take a 2-minute break. Shri Gurudev is going to be right back.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaura Premanande, Haribo.
How much time do I have? I get till 11:36. Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's a good one over there. Yeah, the big one. Oh, we're ahead of schedule? Okay. Can you get him a seat? Get him an asana. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivadadhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivadadhari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivadadhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivadadhari Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Jamunatira Vanachari Jamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Jashoda Nandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stottara Satishishimad Bhai Charanara Vinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Stottara Satishishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prems Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokupinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham Ki. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. Go Premanande Haribo. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Stapitam Nina Bhutale Sayambrupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvatutam Prijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Premanande, Haribol. I offer my humble and most respectful obeisances to the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, of whom we've taken shelter, and we are residing under his protection. Here in ISKCON, he is providing for us the umbrella, shading us from Maya, giving us the teachings of the Goswamis in such a way that we can imbibe them, that we can digest them, that we can actually enact them. And he's done so with full confidence and full realization of those instructions himself. And I offer my obeisances to all my God brothers and God sisters who have taken shelter under the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, and by whose mercy thousands, millions of people all over the world are also taking to the process of Krishna consciousness. I offer my humble obeisances to all of the devotees who have come here to ISV. You are all rare souls that you have submitted to a higher order, a higher law. Everyone has to submit because it's our nature to submit. And if you look anywhere in the world, you notice that living entities submit somewhere. Some admit it, some don't. But it's submission. But real intelligence comes when one understands that there's a higher authority, God, and one must submit to God. Actually, this is anathema to many in the material world, this idea of surrendering to God. As Satyadev Prabhu often points out, some people want to be the boss. Some people make up philosophies where they say, well, there's really no boss anyway. There's no God ultimately. God's just impersonal or void. But in Krishna consciousness, we admit that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God and He's the boss, and that solves everything. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. Whatever He sets aside, then as our quota, as our service, as our duty, we take that. So those who have come to that point of life are very rare. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatiti siddhaye yatatamapi siddhanam kaschim mam veti tatvataha. That out of millions of people, hardly one even thinks about spiritual life. And of those who have entered spiritual life, hardly one knows me in truth, Krishna says. So rare souls who come to the point of understanding that there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who avail themselves to the descriptions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, they're always available. It's just a matter of submission. And there are many processes of spiritual realization which only go so far. And therefore, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni, the spiritual master of Srila Vyasadeva, whose name and process and who we are worshiping in form and in name. This is a Vyasa Puja day. We are honoring Srila Vyasadeva, his mood and method. Narada Muni told his disciple, who had compiled all of the Vedic literature, but not included specific enough in information about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Naishkarmyam apyachuta bhava vartitam. Nashobate jnanamalam niranjanam. Kutak panashashvad abhadramishvade. He said, Nacharpitam karma yadapyakaranam. That if you describe the Supreme Absolute Truth, or you even act in a process that is detached from material activity, but you don't give very specific information about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nashobate, it's not beautiful. It doesn't look good. Not very nice. Not very good. He said that it has to have a chutabhav. It has to have that feeling for the personality of Godhead. And that means there has to be specific information about that personality of Godhead. And that is what Srila Vyasadeva brought. After receiving that instruction from his spiritual master, in meditation, he saw the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and he revealed them in the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the Amala Purana. And just by hearing these pastimes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, one's heart becomes cleansed, one is put right on the path of spiritual realization. So to come to this point of spiritual evolution is very rare, and therefore I feel very honored to be in the association of such elevated souls as yourselves who have heard the clarion call and have come to take part in the Krishna consciousness movement. So, Krishna doesn't compel anyone to serve him. He is neutral, he says in the Bhagavad Gita. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshosti napriya. That I'm equal to everyone. And then he says, but if someone, ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya, mai te teshu chapyaham. But if someone approaches me and worships me, then they live in me. And I'm in them. So, this is a conundrum because if people are unwilling to submit to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he's neutral, then what's everyone going to do except for stay in the material world lifetime after lifetime? There's no hope. But then come the Lord's representatives. That's Srila Vyasadeva. Anarto pasanam sakshat bhakti yoga madhoksaje lokasya ajanato vidmams chakre satvata samhitam. Srila Vyasadeva, the empowered representative of the Lord, comes specifically to intervene in the lives of those who are unwilling to submit to the Lord or who are lost and don't know how to connect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anarto pasanam sakshad. They don't know that there is a direct process to link to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it's called Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yogam adhoksaje. It's direct service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lokasya ajanata. Ajanata means they don't know it. And who doesn't know it? Lokasya, everybody. Everybody in the world doesn't know it. Lokasya ajanato vidmams chakre satvata samhitam. Therefore, he's brought this samhita. What is it? It's sound. It's transcendental sound. Sound makes this world. Sound breaks this world. And sound comes from outside this world, from the spiritual world. We need that sound that comes from outside the system. The sound that's bouncing around within the walls of this universe, which is the result of people trying to improve themselves materially, is sound which can only take us so far, to the top of the universe or to the bottom of the universe. But sound that comes from outside the universe is a different creation altogether. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abhadyavat yapi namanyanantasya yashon kitani yat shinvanti gayanti grananti sadavaha. Narada Muni also told Srila Vyasadeva that this is a different creation altogether, this sound. It comes from a different creation. It is a different creation, and it rearranges the heart of a person who hears it. It takes them from the path of pavarga, of birth and death in the material world, to apavarga. They suddenly change their trajectory, and they're headed in a different direction, back home, back to Godhead, leaving behind the perils of the material world, which is a risky place. risky and dangerous at every step, and full of lamentation and fear by that sound vibration. And so Srila Vyasadeva is worshipped as the person who compiles this information and makes it available to the world. And that's what saves the living entity. Maya mugda jivar nahi swata Krishna gyan, jivare kripaya koy Krishna Veda Puran. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told this to Sanatana Goswami, that living entities don't automatically come out of the consensual trance that they're engaged in the material world. I got that from Devamrita Swami. Everyone's engaged in mass consensual trance. Well, he's doing it. I'll do it. If he tells you to jump off a bridge, will you do that? I guess so. This is mass consensual trance. The father has a miserable life, struggles hard, and then he raises his son and says, son, you do as I do. Now, I'd rather chant Hare Krishna. No, not that. Anything but that. You could be a drug dealer, you could take drugs, but don't chant Hare Krishna. This is how strong the force is in the material world to stay with the status quo. But Srila Vyasadeva comes to break that, because it's not swata. It's not automatic that anyone can come out. There has to be intervention at some time. And this is the great excitement in the material world, that this happens, that the free will of the living entity is awakened and then sees an opportunity and says, I'm taking it. Not everyone does. Some people can see it and say, no, I'm going back to sleep. Push the snooze alarm, or they deny it altogether, or they invent ways to avoid the process of surrender, but some rare souls surrender. But that's the purpose of Srila Vyasadeva, to come to this world and present the direct information about Krishna in the spiritual world. And of course, there is preliminary information through the 9 cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam that takes one step by step to a clear understanding that this world is not your home. There are stories of kings. Kings have everything, right? Wrong. Kings that wanted sons that couldn't have a son. Kings gotta have a son. Otherwise, what's the use of the whole thing? They have to pass it on. This is one thing people work hard their whole lives, even in this life, in ordinary life, not kingly life. What are you working so hard? I want to pass on everything to my sons and daughters. Make so much money to pass on to them, so they can hold it and then work hard and pass it on to somebody else. When's it going to end? So, the Srila Vyasadeva gives the information that breaks the cycle, and he gives in the special form, in the form of the literature. And the great kings, they want sons, they get sons, the sons die, they have sons, the sons turn out to be bad, and they ruin their lives, and so forth. And we hear about all kinds of reversals of fortune that take place in the material world. The Srimad Bhagavatam lays the foundation so the heart can be fertile for the message of the spiritual world. Because if one's too attached to this material world, it's hard to hear the message of another world altogether. Srila Vyasadeva writes, not, in my opinion, quote unquote, in my opinion, no. He writes, Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. When he presents the Bhagavad Gita, he doesn't start off the Bhagavad Gita with, in my opinion. It's Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. When I first started reading Bhagavad Gita, this was one of the most profound feelings I had, that Krishna was directly there in those words, Sri Bhagavanu Vacha. He's there on the page. And that's what happens when it's direct. When it comes down through the process of disciplic succession. Srila Vyasadeva received it from his spiritual master. And he said, Anarto pasanam sakshad bhakti yogam and hoksajay. There's a direct linking process. Well, how's it direct? It seems to be indirect to me, this parampara one after another after another. That's what parampara means. You're separated from the original source, aren't you? No, it's direct. It comes when someone delivers the message as it is. And then the potency's still there, just as a messenger picks up a telegram and delivers it to the recipient. Doesn't stop, read it, take time to interpret it or change it in any way, but delivers it in the same way. And the potency of the message is intact, and those who hear it become changed and are able to take to the process of spiritual life. So we celebrate the transmission of that knowledge, and we respect the channel that it comes through, just as much as a viceroy, who is the messenger from the king, goes to another place, another country, and then is respected on behalf of the king. But the viceroy takes all kinds of gifts and all kinds of accolades are offered, but he doesn't touch them at all, just as the messenger doesn't touch the message, but delivers it. That's not his job. His job is, I'm here on behalf of the king. So all the members of the parampara fit in this channel because of their mood, which is that they are transparent. And they take the message and they pass it on as it is, the Sri Bhagavan Vacha. And from that, one's spiritual life begins. That spiritual sound awakens, and one can then directly experience the process of spiritual life. And that, we say, comes from the Veda Mata. This world is full of darkness. I'm stumbling along in peril of tripping at any time. But the light of knowledge comes through the Vedas. And just as one's born in this world and without any information from the mother about who one's father is, one can't know. So similarly, we say the Veda Mata. The Vedas are there as our mother to instruct us, to deliver us from the darkness of the material world. So, Srila Prabhupada describes in the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 4th chapter about realization. And he says that it's the duty of the devotee to take this direct instruction that's coming down through disciplic succession and to imbibe it, to practice it, and then to distribute it to others. And the way of distribution means that one should present it as it is, but should also present it in a way that others can appreciate it and hear it. And Prabhupada says this is realization. So our Krishna consciousness movement is the direct result of this spiritual sound vibration which is being passed down from Goloka Vrindavan through the chain of disciplic succession. Srila Vyasadeva is famous for having taken that knowledge and packaging it in such a way that it can be available to everyone. The Vedas are sometimes compared to a cacophony or a jungle of sound. It's very difficult to navigate one's way through the Vedic literature. In fact, in earlier ages, people had to live a lifestyle in which they could actually hear the Vedas, which meant they had to grow up in a gurukula and live a very austere lifestyle to be able to even appreciate the subtlety of the Vedic sound. In Kali Yuga, practically that's not possible because Prayanal Parisha Shabya Kalavazminugejana Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya Hupadrita. In the Iron Age of Kali, men have but short lives. They're quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all always disturbed. And good luck finding a Gurukula. Srila Vyasadeva knew this. He knew that that the Kali Yuga was coming, just as much as a person who's a farmer knows that one season follows the next and that you have to prepare for winter. So the winter was coming, and Srila Vyasadeva took the trouble to divide the Yajurveda into 4, and he gave it to his various disciples to teach to others. And he also created bridge books, because he understood that people in Kali Yuga wouldn't have the patience to memorize the Vedic sounds or go into deep philosophy. So he wrote the Mahabharata. That's a bridge book. We talk about bridge books these days. We need more bridge books. Srila Vyasadeva felt the same. And he embedded the Bhagavad Gita within that bridge book, the Mahabharata. And just when the war is about to start and everyone's on the edge of their seat waiting to see what will happen, then the Bhagavad Gita begins. And that's how he was thinking, that people will read this book, they'll become intrigued with it, and then they'll hear the Bhagavad Gita with an open mind and open heart. And then, of course, he wrote the Vedanta Sutra, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, explaining what is the meaning of the Vedanta Sutra in these 12 cantos of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the first of which is the lotus feet of the Lord, and then successively each canto is one of the sections of the Lord's transcendental body. And within the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vikriditam Vrajava Durvir Ahamcha Vishnu Shadhanvito Nishinuyad Atavarnagedya. That's just by hearing the pastimes, the playful pastimes of Krishna in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, if one has developed the right kind of faith in one's heart, Shraddhanvito, the heart is ready for it, and one hears the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then one can eradicate the dread disease of lust within the heart, that persistent attachment to the material world. I was thinking the other day when I was walking up the street, the mind is like a fish sometimes. Fish can't resist little flashy things in the water. That's why if you go to fishing shops, you'll see they sell all these different kinds of lures. They're called lures. They have hooks all over them. And they spend millions of dollars figuring out how to make these special lures that will attract the fish. It moves in a certain way, but it has hooks all over it. And when the fish sees that in the water, it said, I got to get that. Cats are like that too. I watch them in my backyard all the time. When they see a little bird move, their tail starts twitching like this, and they get in a crouched position. They can't leave it alone. It's a little bird. Leave him alone. But he can't help it. And the fish goes after the lure, and he just grabs it as it's flashy, and it looks like something. And so in this world, after many millions of lifetimes, the mind has attracted so many flashy things. They flash by the vision, and the mind said, I'll take that. I said, no, you don't want that. You're going to get hooked. This knowledge by category that Srila Vyasadeva presented in the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, it fortifies everyone to be able to conquer the lower self by the higher self, actually come to the position of being a steady human being, understanding. Prabhupada once, he said about how the movement will go on, process of initiation, things like this. Prabhupada was asked that officially, and at one point he said, one who understands the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he can become a guru. And then he said, one who understands the mission of his spiritual master, he or she can become a guru. This is the point. And then I was thinking, what is this word, understand? And first of all, it's got the word stand in it. And stand means that you're standing somewhere. It means you have a standing. Shta, also in Sanskrit, it's where stand comes from, shta. And there's also the word nishta, that someone's nishta. It means they don't waver in devotional service. They're not affected by the little flashy things that come by the mind's eye. But they're nishta. They can stand without wavering. And so understanding means you've got a place. You know where your place is. You're firmly in the right place. Otherwise, if you're in the wrong place, and that's with living entities, because we're tatashta, we can go either place. We can live in the turbulent material world or the spiritual world, and we can be attracted either way. Dhyato vishan pumsam. If you put a little contemplation where attention goes, your energy flows. You'll just go there automatically. So one who's a yogi has to cultivate this nishta, and understand where's the right place to stand. Not where everything's moving, not where it's going to be taken back away again. Adyantavanta konte anate shuramate Buddha. Krishna says, real intelligent people don't take pleasure in those things that get taken away. Here, you want this? Here, thanks a lot. I'll take it back. They don't want that. They want the thing that actually has eternal standing. Nasato vidite bhavo, nabhavo vidite sata, ubayorapi drishnon tastvayanos tattvadarshibhi. They analyze the world and they say, that's temporary, that doesn't really exist in a way because it's changing, moving, and that's not me. That's different from my nature. I want the thing that has an eternal standing. And even one living entity, one part and parcel of Krishna, is more valuable than all the other things in the material world. And there's a lot of things in the material world. Even there's a lot of things here in Mountain View. If you analyze how many shops there are, there's a lot of things, right? If you add them all up with a calculator, it'd probably be worth a few $1 million or more. And then if you add up all the other things in the world, all those things cannot equal the value of one living entity. And this is what Vyasa is bringing our attention to. Here's the real value. This thing is the most valuable. Look inside, find it inside yourself. One who has a standing there, or one who has even a slight interest in that reality, that eternal soul, becomes detached from the material world. But even higher than that is one who comes to understand that eternal living being, who we all are, that living soul, has a relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And therefore, the demigods, when praying to Krishna in the womb, said, Yene ravindaksha vimuktamaninas toyasta bhavad avashudha buddhaya aruya krichena parambaram tata patantyato nadrita yushmadangraya. That everything else you get in this world, that you try hard for, that you work for very vigorously, and you think you've reached something, will be taken away from you. You'll fall down from that position at some point because you haven't reestablished your relationship with Krishna. Only the relationship with the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has eyes. He has a face. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya pihitam mukam. The Ishopanishad says, the devotees praying, please remove the effulgence of your transcendental rays so they can see your form of bliss. Mukam, the face is there. And only until one understands the Lord has a face, He has eyes, He has a personality, I am part and parcel of Him, I have a relationship with Him, and that relationship begins. Then one's in the safe position. This is understanding. One's standing in the right place then. Then one can have steadiness in life. They have a higher purpose, a higher cause, and the right place to live. And then they also know where to put everything. We have this mantra here at ISV, a place for everything and everything in its place. We haven't quite reached that yet. But that's our mantra, that's our goal. A place for everything and everything in its place. And that's how a person who knows their relationship with Krishna lives. Because once I know what my duty is in life and what my relationship is with God, He's the master, I'm the servant. Everything belongs to Him. Everything's meant to be engaged in His service. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. I know where everything goes. It goes back to Krishna, right? And that's the perfect life. The perfect life. One's doing moving, seeing, breathing, everything, but engaging all those things for the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is a tangible and attainable state of being in this world. And this is what the great acharyas are carrying, this science, the Atma-tattva Gyan, and beyond that, the knowledge of our eternal relationship with this lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead. And glories to Srila Vyasadeva and all of those who follow him. This is our feeling, that out of compassion he brought it. Shukadeva Goswami also, he's mentioned in the very beginning of the second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, that out of compassion he brought the message of the Srimad Bhagavatam. He had nothing else to do in life, as evidenced by his wearing no clothes. If you're not wearing any clothes, it means you're not going to work. I mean, maybe California can get away with shorts, but not past that. There's no work to do. I don't have to put on a tie. I don't even have to put on any shirt or pants. I don't care anymore about the material world. There's no more duty in this material world. But then he has another duty, and that is out of mercy, out of compassion, to give that to other people, to spread it everywhere. Karuna yaha purana kuyam. He gave the secret. And it's revealed. Revealed knowledge comes from the spiritual world. Reveal means to disclose, to divulge a secret. Something that's private, but you bring it out anyway. You reveal it to other people. And that's what Srila Vyasadeva does. That's the business of everybody who follows Srila Vyasadeva. And because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the combination of Radha and Krishna, is the combination of Radha Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanya. He has this heart of compassion. Radharani is always thinking about how to engage others in Krishna's service. And when Krishna comes as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has the heart of Srimati Radharani, and therefore he's thinking how to engage everyone in the world. Nobody can be left behind. This is his great mercy. And then he tells anyone who will listen, Jari dako tahi kaha Krishna upadesh amaragnaya guru hanatari desh. He says that learn this science, the science of reconnecting to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, anarto pasanam sakshat bhakti yogam and hoksajay, this direct process of linking with the Supreme Personality of God. Learn it, and then give it to everybody. And this is an order, according to Srila Prabhupada. This is his order. So, everyone's ordered by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who comes in this unlimitedly merciful mood. No longer are the Vedas only the domain of those who are born in a certain family or have a certain upbringing. It wouldn't apply anyway because Kalu Shudra Sambhava, everyone in Kali Yuga is unqualified, born as Shudra. Nobody knows their actual lineage. And then he comes with this unlimitedly compassionate mood and he says, everybody take it. And then you're deputized. And now you also give it to everybody else. Amaragnu Guru Hanatara Edesh. Become Guru. Whatever capacity you have, distribute it to other people. So he empowers others to take that. And the direct order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the manifestation of his internal potency. And it is by that particular potency that one can come to see the Lord face to face. So we see the life of Srila Prabhupada, who strained his ears to hear the instructions of his spiritual master. He strained his ears to hear. In fact, his spiritual master noted it. Although he was a householder, and at the time predominantly people were brahmacharis in the ashrams, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta noticed that he doesn't go away. he's straining to hear everything I say. That's the qualification for advancing a spiritual life. You want to hear it. And he wanted, and from that hearing and hearing and hearing, straining his ears to hear, and also posing some question. And what kind of question did he ask his spiritual master? How can I serve? How can I serve you? And then his guru gave him some instruction. And again, the instruction which is being passed down through the parampara is the manifestation of the internal potency, and is by that particular potency that one comes to see the Lord face to face. And Srila Prabhupada picked it up, and he said, I got the instruction, and now I'm attaching myself to it. And I won't let go of it for anything. I won't look anywhere else. I won't do anything else. I'm doing this. And because of that adherence to that instruction, which is a manifestation of the Lord's internal potency, again and again, Srila Prabhupada said, that's why I'm successful. Because I've followed the instruction as it was given to me, and I've delivered the message without changing it. That's it. I'm the messenger. That's all I am. If I have any qualification, it's that I took the order of my spiritual master and I delivered it without changing it. And so any success we have, any success that's possible, is possible only by the mercy of the higher authorities coming from Krishna. Krishna is the guru of everyone. He's even the guru of Balaram. Balaram even gets bewildered sometimes, but Krishna is never bewildered unless he invokes some bewilderment so he can enjoy his pastimes in a more relishable way. But he is the guru. And anyone who simply finds out what Krishna's instructions are through the disciplic succession, which is Krishna's system. One very intelligent devotee today was saying you can't approach Krishna directly. Krishna has advised, become the servant of the servant of the servant. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshanti de jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Find a person and then submit yourself there, connect yourself there. And by becoming the servant, 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 1,000,000 times removed, and taking that, whatever comes down through that system as one's life and soul, then one becomes inexplicably directly connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the meaning of Sri Vyasa Puja. It means adherence to this eternal principle. A guru, a spiritual master, is not a particular person. It's a principle. It's the principle of freely using one's will. Will and freedom are synonymous, actually. We have eternal free will. It means that someone's decided to adhere themselves to the internal potency, which is the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which comes down through disciplic succession. And when that happens, something significant has happened. Otherwise, there's nothing interesting in this world. It's the same thing over and over again. It's boring, it's uninteresting, it's actually destructive. But one who grabs onto that internal potency by taking the instruction and by using free will says, I'm taking it. This is my life and soul. That's something to celebrate. And that is the only qualification of the guru, the spiritual master. It's a post which is bestowed upon one by one's willingness to accept the order willingly and devote one's life to it. And it's open to everybody. In fact, not just open to everybody, it's the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But again, he doesn't push it because he doesn't compel anyone to serve him, because then there's no love. He leaves it open. The devotees are a little bit better at nudging people because they know what the Lord's actual desire is. And therefore we say, Sakshad Hari Tvaimastamashta Shastra, that there's the person who is working under the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by adhering to the instruction, by following the chain of command, that person becomes directly worshipable as Hari. How? Because he's dear to Hari. One who's dear to Hari is already explained by Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita. Nacha tasman manusheshu kaschin me priya kritamaha. Priya. Who becomes Krishna's dear one? The one who goes around introducing the same information without changing it that Srila Vyasa passed down. That he put out specifically to bring people back to Krishna. So that is our mandate. And we have no other choice but to follow it. Actually, we do have a choice, but for those who have realized that the material world is a dead end, they have no choice. Except to take this order, whatever it is, and follow it, whatever happens. We don't care. And Prabhupada said this often, people take or they don't take, that's not my business. But my duty is to carry out the order. And if someone just takes that mood in life, do or die, I'm still following out, I'm still going to take the order of my spiritual master that's been passed down to me. That mood, that internal decision that I'm keeping this order as my life and soul, and do or die, I'm going to carry it out to my last breath, is the qualification for connecting to the internal potency in a most profound way to making advancement in spiritual life and going back home, back to Godhead. So I am overwhelmed by the loving exchanges of all the devotees here at ISV. The fact that we come together on a regular basis is a miracle. We should never take it for granted. The fact that we gather together as we are here today, this is a unique happening. It's not routine. We're all here voluntarily, and we should appreciate it every minute. Or I'm expressing that I appreciate it every minute. That I have the good fortune of being with all of you. It's Krishna's arrangement. And as we go forward in life, perhaps even blindly in a way, because we don't know what's going to happen or what the outcome of our service is going to be, Krishna makes so many arrangements. And Prabhupada used to marvel at that also, that he came to America with nothing. He made an attempt, but he made the attempt with the right frame of heart. And therefore it all came out successfully. And he remarked so many times of how this is Krishna's mercy. So I see all of you as Krishna's mercy to me. And I see all of you as my instructors. In fact, I don't know a single person who calls themselves my disciple or aspiring disciple that I don't see as teaching me how to advance in spiritual life, actually pulling me along to be better. I see in each one of you qualities that I aspire to, and that I pray to Krishna that I could have, and therefore I see you as the representatives of Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, how would I move forward without that kind of inspiration, without that kind of example? So I thank you very, very much for being the instruments of Lord Chaitanya's mercy, not just to me, but to people everywhere. The mission that we've taken up here together is monumental. Someone may say that it doesn't look that big so far. But even if one person takes wholeheartedly to the process of devotional service, the effect will be there for millions of years. It can't be otherwise. The energy is in the intention. The intention is in the heart. The external world will move. Mountains will move. In fact, Jesus said something about if one had a mustard seed of real faith, then he could move mountains, and it's a fact. Otherwise, everything eventually gets dropped on our head. But our only shelter is the order of Krishna coming down through Srila Vyasadeva and the Parampara. So today we renew our intention and our vow to follow that instruction with all our heart and soul, to imbibe the teachings, the subtle sounds coming through the Srimad Bhagavatam, which are none other than the songs and poems from Goloka Vrindavan themselves, which transform the heart, and to tax our brains to distribute those sounds through realization. That means we don't change the message, but we use our intelligence to introduce them to society in ways that people can take them. And that's our duty, to change our own focus from the flashing lure that's going by to becoming attracted to the reality, the actual source of all light, Krishna, and our relationship with him, and then figuring out how to attract the rest of Silicon Valley to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Akaranath Prabhu often talks about this, that there's so many great literatures in the world, and I think he knows all of them. May have read all of them already by the time he was 12 or something. But I appreciated so much what you said about popularizing, and what you say often about popularizing the Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what Prabhupada came to do. That's what Srila Vyasadeva came to do. And that's our mission here. And that's what we're worshiping today, is that intention. That intention. Wherever we see it, we worship it. We say that's the connection. That's the spiritual world manifest in this material world when someone has that intention to follow Srila Vyasadeva, to follow the Parampara. Come what may. Come what may. We're taking it. Right? Yes. Correct? Yes. Yeah. That's it. So thank you very, very much. I'm indebted to every one of you. Hare Krishna.
So now we'll have a short Pada Seva ceremony. Everybody could remain seated, and it'll take place right now. And then we'll have Arti and Kirtan. And no, everybody hear me? No. All right. Hare Krishna. Okay. So now we're having a short Pada Seva ceremony, followed by Arti and Kirtan, and then we'll have Prasad.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ramo Ramo Hare 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 Oh. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Vishnu Padaya Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. So now we'll have an arati ceremony. So if everybody could stand up, and if families would like to come through, and we'll offer a Pushpanjali to Shri Guru Dev. If all the families could come through at once, and also if you have gifts to offer. Okay. So families, please come together.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So we'd like to devotees to come, make a line here. Please form a line here. With the family, come and then take, offer flower petals, pay your obeisances on the other side. So first offer your flower petals, pay obeisances, and then go other side so the devotees can keep going. Okay? So we request his disciples and aspiring disciples to be in the front of the line, and then family can come.
Goes like samsara dava. Is that okay? That's the one from the okay. Where should I stand? I should go over there. Let's go there. Excuse me. Srila Gurudev Vaisesika Prabhu ki jai. Samsara dava nalalita loka Janaya karunya gana ganatvam Samsara dava nalalita loka Janaya karunya gana ganatvam Prapta sekayana Gunanavasa Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Prapta Sakayam Mahaprabhu Kirtanamrita Gita Varichamaryan Manasurasin Mahaprabhu Kirtanamrita Gita Varichamaryan Manasurasin Romanchakampa Shutarango Baju Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Kampa Shutarango Baju Vande Guru Shiva Graharadhana Nitanana Shingarathan Mandira Majanaru Shiva Graharadhana Shingarathan Mandira Shiva Graharadhana Nitanana Shingarathan Mandira Majanaru Shiva Graharadhana Nitanana Shingarathan Mandira
Yuktasya bhaktam chananjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Yuktasya bhaktam chananjatopi Yuktasya bhaktam chananjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Chananjatopi Vande Guru Shri Chaturvidhashi Bhagavat Prasada Spadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangam Bhagavat Prasado Spadvana Triptan Hari Chaturvidhashi Bhagavat Prasada Spadvana Triptan Hari Bhakta Sangam Bhagavat Prasado Spadvana Triptan Kripa eva triptim Bhajata sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Bhajata sadaiva Kripa eva triptim Bhajata sadaiva Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Bhajata sadaiva Shirarika Madhavayorapara Madhuyavela Gunarupanamam Ravayorapara Madhuyavela Shirarika Madhavayorapara Madhuyavela Gunarupanamam Pradikshanashan Dhanalolupasa Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Dhanalolupasa Vande Guru Shri Pradikshanashva Dhanalolupasa Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Nikunjayo no rati keli sirai Yayali biyukti apekshaya Nikunjayo no rati keli sirai Yayali biyukti apekshaya Nikunjayo no rati keli sirai Yayali bhakti apekshaya Tikeni siddhai Yayali bhakti Tatrati daksha ativalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Daksha ativalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Tatrati daksha ativalabhasya Vande Guru Shri Charanarvindam Vande Valabhasya Sakshadarit Veda Samasta Shastre Uktastata bhavyataiva sadi Samasta sashta Uktastata Shakshadhanitena samasta shastre Uktastata bhavyataiva sadi Uktastata Kintu prapurya priya eva tasa Vande guroshi charanadavindam Priya eva tasa Kintu prapurya priya eva tasa Vande guroshi charanadavindam Priya eva tasa Vyasa prasada bhagavat prasado Vyasa prasada nagati kutoki Vyasa prasada bhagavat prasado Vyasa prasada nagati kutoki Vyasa prasada Dhayantu bhantasya yasastri sanya Vande guroshi charanarvindam Dhayantu bhantasya yasastri sanya Vande guroshi charanarvindam Jai Jai Gurudeva 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 Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva 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 Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Om Ganatimarandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshununiditangena Tasvai Shri Gurube Namaha Nandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Bhakti Vedanta Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastatya Dishataurine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Pacharine Nivesesa Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Rasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Chaitanya Advaita Gadadhara Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Nitai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna. Rambo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare. If you want. Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Jai Hare Bo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Shri Guru Vaisesika Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Shri Radha Mohan ki jai, Shri Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Shri Bhagavan ki jai. Jai Guru Premanande Hare Bo. Gurudev Shri Vaisesika Prabhu ki jai.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Gaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Go Bhaktivinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gogopinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadip Dham ki jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki jai. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Vedanta Swami Nitina Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Got to tune it. A little water. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Go Premanande, Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole, Nachriyar Man Nitai. Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole, Nachriyar Nachre Armarman, Nachre Armarman, Nachre Armarman, Nachre Armarman, Nachre Armarman. Hey! Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bole, Nachre Armarman. Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole, Nachre Armarman. Nachre Armarman, Nachre Armarman, Nachre Armarman, Nachre Armarman. Hey! Doyalitai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marma Doyal Tonai Hai Doyal Tonai Hai Emon Toya Tonai Hai Mar Ke Premade Emon Doyal Tonai Hai Mar Ke Premade Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marma Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marma Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Hey! Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marma Ore apara dure jabe pabe prema dhan Ore aparadha dule jabe pabe prema dhan Vichar to na hai Vichar to na hai O name apara vichar to na hai O name apara vichar to na hai Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marman Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Hey! Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marman Ore Takon Krishna Name Ruche Habe Gucci Be Bandan Takon Krishna Name Ruche Habe Gucci Be Bandan Anuragto habe Anuragto habe Krishna name Anuragto habe Krishna name Anuragto habe Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marman Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Nachariyar Marman Hey! Doyali Tai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachariyar Marman Tako nanaya se sapal habe jivera jivan Takon anaya se sapal habe jivera jivan Jivanto Miche, Jivanto Miche, Krishna Rati Bina Jivanto Miche, Krishna Rati Bina Jivanto Miche, Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachare Armarma, Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachare Armarma, Nachare Armarman, Nachare Armarman, Nachare Armarman, Nachare Armarman, hey! Doyalitai Chaitanya Bodhi Nachare Armarma, Eshe Brindavane Radha Shame Pabedarshan, Eshe Brindavane Radha Shame Pabedarshan. Here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that if you get the mercy of Lord Gora, then at the time of leaving this body, at the end of this body, you will have the darshan of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. That means you go back home, back to Godhead by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabodhananda Saraswati in the Chaitanya Chandamrita says, Yata Yata Gauda Padara Vinde, that one who serves the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu naturally feels the ingress of love for Radha and Krishna within the heart. In the Kali Yuga, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to distribute the highest prize, pure loving service, spontaneous loving service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Never been given before, and anyone's eligible. In fact, Jiva Goswami says that in the Kali Yuga, our eligibility is that nobody's qualified. Therefore, it has to be given away free. So now the big sale is on, and Mahaprabhu is giving out this mercy everywhere to anyone who will take it. In fact, he's preoccupied with enjoying the rasa himself. But what's spilling over from his emotional ecstasy, the expert devotees like the Goswamis are collecting up, and they're passing out to everyone all over the world. And today someone said that these books are the mercy drops from Srimati Radharani, and this is a fact. So all we have to do is run out the clock. We're already on the field. The clock is ticking down. We have to run out the clock by singing Gaura Kripa Hole Hey, Gaura Kripa, Gaura Kripa Hole Hey, 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 Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nachare Armarman, Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole Nachare Armarman, Nachare Armarman, Nachare Armarman, Nachare Armarman, Nachare Armarman, hey! Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Go Premanande! Govinda Datta, harmonium. Let's hear for the Madanga players. Three Kishori on Wampers. For the Hare Krishna chanters. For the Hare Krishna dancers in the back. Go Premanande! Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole. Nach Re Amar Man. Doyal Nitai Chaitanya Bole. Nach Re Amar Man. Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman, Nachari Armarman. Hey! Nachari Armarman, Nachre Amarman. Go Premanande! Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Oh Premanande Sharira Vidyaja Jodendriya Tahika Jibe Pele Vishaya Sagare Karma Jivayati. Moy Tori Bara Jiva Joy Persana Dilopal Radha Krishna Kunaka Dakoti Chaitanya Nitai Krishna Prabhu Bojane Boshilo Shakuri Ashwadana Prabhu Bole Bhakta Gana Esha Krishna Ashwadilo No Shakashwadane Prema Aishemane Me Koro Ashwadan Jala Buri Parihare Prasada Bojana Kori Hare Hare Bolo Sarvajan Pare Sakshirangani Kabu Maravendra Puri Prabhu Prasadana Korena Bhojan Kaite Kaite Tara Hailo Prema Suduba No Sanyasira Mocha Ganta Pula Bari Dali Dalna Chari Sachi Mata Kori Lorandan Tara Shudha Bhakti Hari Bojana Kori Lohari Shudha Sama Eyanam Chanchan Jogi Jogi Paija Bogi Aja Beta Dibole Thousand Prasarana Shri Jagat Kori Danya Tripurari Nache Jahapa Tripurari Nache Jahapa Mavrashare Govinde Nam Brahmani Vaishnava Sapa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Navijay Prasade Savadukanam Hani Rasyo Pajayate Prasana Cheta Suyashu Budi Paryavatishtate Bhagavat Shri Mahaprasada Ki Go Premanande Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol I want to thank all the devotees who worked so hard to put this festival together today. One Hari Bol for everyone, please. Hari Bol. Thank you to all the cooks who have been working very hard over the last few days. Is Ivantika here? She could tell us. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So the cooks for today are Bhakta Vatsal Prabhu, Hero Mataji, Hansa Priya Mataji and Sanatan Sundar Prabhu.
Haribol! Taigora Haribol, 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 Taigor Haribol. Also, you see on the showroom floor the full set of Srila Prabhupada's books. This is called the Perfectly Complete Srila Prabhupada Library. It comes with Madanga, Kartals, deities, tilak. You'll see our very own Srivas Pandit displaying. Normally a value of $3,500. Today, with bookshelf and delivery and installation in your home, office, temple, kitchen, wherever you live, library, car, truck, loft, $1,008 only. Go Premanande! So please don't hesitate. Just take these away. We have them stored in the middle unit. They're ready to go. They'll be shipped out today. SKP, stand up. He'll take your orders. He's ready, standing by to take orders. We're also officially starting the marathon for the end of the year with a whopping goal, which is yet to be announced in the next couple of days. So we're getting ready for the last part of the year to come over the finish line, which will be at January 7th. So everyone get ready. Go Premanande Haribo. We'd like to thank everyone who traveled a long distance to come here today. Thank you very, very much. It was a heartwarming experience to see everybody. Hare Krishna. Please come take prasadam. Go Premanande Haribo. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohanji ki jai. Shriman Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev ki jai.
So actually we have all the offerings of all the devotees who have written offerings for His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu. We have it available in PDF and ebook form. So if anyone wants them, they can please let me know or let Shraddha Mataji know. And they can have it on their mobile phones or iPads or computers. So all the offerings are there in that book. Haribol.
For those who have joined us online, thank you so much for joining us. That concludes our program for today. We will again be going live this evening, starting at around 7:15 p.m. for kirtan for a kirtan program. Thank you so much for joining us. Hare Krishna.